Hello and welcome, I'm Peasant, and today I'm going to be going through my top 10 minor powers for Thunderspeaker. So there's a few things like to say at the start, which are the elements are weird. You're not necessarily aiming for the elements you think you are. Like this number 10 here has the sun and the fire and the animal element. But actually it's the animal element most of the time that's important because that enables you to use your Gather the Warriors ability. And your innate, the lead the Furious Assault that uses sun and fire. The town destroying element aspect of it is easy generally. You just need 2 suns and a fire to do it, but the city destroying one is much harder to do unless you go top track. But the top track, I would say, is not the best way of going unless you've somehow cheesed out all your presents really early or something like that. So it's kind of when it comes to elements for Thunderspeaker, I think this beast element is often the low-key enabler that you're looking for. Anyway, into the top 10. Oh, yeah, but maybe a quick little look at your start cards. So your start cards this is your big one, and this is why you don't really need mages a lot of the time playing Thunderspeaker. This has the potential to do vast damage. Notice no beast element. Okay, next up, words of warning. You'll often find yourself playing this just for this beast element. This is why it's an important thing to have. This is your only defend card you start with as well. Okay. Voice of Thunder, useful utility card, and again, no beast element. This fear thing, it's good to remember that's there. And then finally, Sudden Ambush, which is the other card you have with the animal element, but it's not a great card. You don't get a lot done for your 2 energy, and you often might have energy problems, maybe, as Thunderspeaker, if you go bottom track, which I think is the way to go. Anyway, that's a look at those start cards. So we like beast elements. And with Thunderspeaker, there's a whole cluster of kind of card groups, and this Call to Bloodshed, number 10 officially, is one of the Dahan doing damage group. This one's probably got the best elements of the bunch. It is a slow power, but most of what your big damage is done in the slow phase anyway, with your Lead the Furious Assault and with Manifestation of Power and Glory, this one here. So a bit more slow damage can be useful for mopping up. And yeah, so that's our number 10, but there's a whole load of other similar Dahan movement. And rather than this just being a top 10 that's just full of the 2 main groups of cards that you're going to like as Thunderspeaker, I thought I'd just pick one from this group. Anyway, that's Call to Bloodshed. That's number 10. Well, he says that, and then he undermines it with a slightly better bit of Dahan movement. It's 0 cost, which we like, and it has that crucial beast element. But there's a whole load of others that could go. And the fact it's fast is nice because it means you could set up for the defend. Yes, we will have defend cards. Don't worry. Don't you worry. Gift of Living Energy. It has the nice elements you like, but I mean, Constancy is probably just as good, if not a little bit better, actually. Except this has the fire element, but this is a red herring a lot of the time. So, questionable choice, Peasant. Questionable choice. But the fact that you will often have at least 2 sacred sites once you're out of the first turn means that this is can be a really nice pick just to get some energy together, because it can be quite hard to be repeatedly playing your manifest, which I think is a very strong way of playing with this spirit. So any of the energy ones. Oh, and I always have a copy of Gift of Constancy just on me, just so I can look at it, just put a smile on my face. Cycles of Time and Tide. So Blight removal. Why do you care about Blight removal as Thunderspeaker? Well, sometimes it takes you a while to lumber over there and clear a land, and there might be some Blight there. This does incidentally create Dahan, which is kind of cool, but this is not really the main reason. It's a Blight removal that has a sun on it, really. And because often with Thunderspeaker, you might be letting lands build up and then going for a big smash, sending in 3 or 4 Dahan with 3 or 4 presents. You often will have a situation where you have to let a land blight, and this will just help you not lose in the meantime while you're waiting for your big guns to show up. So in the place of this, you could have any number of other blight removal cards. This one also adds Dahan. There you go. Sky stretches ashore. Okay, so this is going to feature probably in a lot of top 10 lists, because making a slow power fast is a very powerful ability, but for some spirits, they have a slow power that they start with, like in this case, Manifestation is the one we're talking about here. And this can be the difference between winning and losing, because, it might save you from that crucial Ravage. Like that really hard to defend Ravage, I seem to be disappearing into the Matrix, never mind. It is October, it could happen. Could happen. Anyways, the sky stretching is good mainly for use with Manifestation. Of course, the range buff is useless for Manifestation because it depends on the number of presents you have in that land. But it's all about making this fast. In a clutch game, this is often a really handy one. And if you're not playing clutch games, are you playing on a high enough difficulty? That's my question to you. To you there. Well, I really do look like a ghost. Never mind. Next we have Drought. Okay, this is a super powerful card, and newer players might be a bit scared by the fact it adds Blight. Yeah, it does add Blight. But you often have the elements that mean this you can use to destroy a city. Now with Thunderspeaker, typically you're going to be winning just by wrecking everything around you. You're not really, you know, you're not so, I mean, you probably could make a build that was doing other things, but your strong suit is just vast amounts of destruction right out of the gate. And Drought is that extra bit of destruction just to completely clear lands. So this is not, the fact you get Threshold means that the Blight is kind of, you know, this is potentially clearing an awkward land pretty much on its own. So yeah, and the easy Threshold is nice. The fact it has the sun is also kind of irrelevant. One of the cards we'll look at makes the sun and fire elements a bit more relevant. Anyway, that's Drought. And it's this one. It's spur on with Words of Fire. So this one, if you target a spirit other than yourself, gain an energy. We don't care about that. Target spirit may immediately play another power card by paying its cost. You can target yourself with this, even in non-so. It's just in any target. Why does this matter? Well, it's basically, this is how you can get your innate ability to destroy cities with 4 sun, 3 fire. So destroying a city for every 3 Dahan in a land. This enables an otherwise pretty awkward ability for you, unless you've gone top track, but you know, no one does that. So this is good. And then because a lot of the cards are actually good for you as Thunderspeaker, have the sun on anyway, or the fire on anyway. So this basically means that you've got the possibility of getting that innate. The other thing is that as Thunderspeaker, you're limited to 4 actions. Just your tracks go up to 4, and you know, this more actions is more fun, right? But anyway, this means you can destroy cities more easily. Next, we have this kind of a double bill, really. Defend cards are incredibly good for Thunderspeaker, and I've basically picked out the 2 that I think are the best for Thunderspeaker. But pretty much I could have just made this top 10 just 10 defend cards, really, because there's such efficient damage. Because you've got the ability to move Dahan anyway with your Gather the Warriors ability. Not only that, but because it's Gather Push, you can push Dahan into multiple different lands and set up for multiple different defends. Thought I'd pick out the 2 things that I think are strongest, and I'll tell you why. So Quicken the Earth Struggle, it's a big chunk of defend. Defend 10 is huge. The fact it's 0 range from Sacred Site is not a problem for you as Thunderspeaker. Probably your presence is going to be in as with the Dahan anyway. So where you've got a big defend, where you've got a big lump of Dahan, you're going to have the Sacred Site anyway. So it's perfect for setting up that massive counterattack. And it will mean that you can use this instead of using Manifestation of Power and Glory, for example. So it's just an energy saver. It also has the animal element, which enables your Dahan moves. So, I mean, this is just an amazing card for you. It's one of the strongest base cards, I'd say. The other is Sap, which is great because it's cheap, really. It also has that animal element. But the ranging doesn't really matter, so this whole increase in the range doesn't generally matter. The thing with Thunderspeaker, because you've got the sworn to victory of where you lose some of your presence if Dahan die in Ravages, you really don't want your Dahan dying in Ravages. So this is a cheap way of defending your guys that gets you the animal. Anyway, our top one might surprise you. Yeah, it might do. It might do. It might not. Here it is. Call to Isolation. Look at this little puppy. Look at that beautiful art. Target land Dahan, not a problem. We can put them where we want. It's a low-key card, but why? Why, Peasant? Why? Just why? Okay. Has the animal element. It's 0 cost. It has air. It has sun. It's perfect for moving your Dahan around. It's just glorious. And this effect here, push and explore a town per Dahan, is really, really powerful in quite a low-key way. You can do a lot with this, especially as you are able to position your Dahan where you want. You can just prevent a build, no problem. Because you will be moving your Dahan around the board anyway, preventing a build can just mean that it's even easier for you to set up your big smash, clear the inland, all that kind of stuff. So this low-key card is my top minor power for Thunderspeaker. I mean, am I just being deliberately controversial? Well, you know, maybe. I mean, I am a ghost now, apparently, so... What are your top 10? What do you disagree with? We had some interesting disagreements on the River video. A lot of big words said about Quicken. Understandably, it's this Quicken that we were talking about earlier. Incredibly good. But Call to Isolation, I feel like this is the secret sauce. You know, this is your tofu This is your beans. But then, bam, isolation. Secret sauce. Anyway, thanks for joining me, and I'll catch you in the next informative video.